Okay, so this is just part 2 of the introduction to Premiere. And again, just to give you a tour, you have video lines and audio lines, and you can zoom in on your track. It's not making it physically longer, just visually longer, so you can kind of edit a little easier. Push play. Here's what I've got so far. Then we render that out. You want to render every time you see this red line. I don't know, render every 5 to 10 minutes, every time you do a major change on your project. When you import a clip, it always comes to the side here. And then you've got all of these other tabs: effects, markers, history, browser. And then when you put you click here for an effect, and then to control the effect, you go to this tab up here. Your titles are up here, so creating credits, titles, that type of thing. I'm just going to wait for this to render out. There we go. After it renders, I like to save. I'm going to save my project. All your tools are here. I believe you can unsnap them if you want. I'm just going to leave them down here. I like them there. I'm going to cut my film a little bit with the razor blade. I'm going to cut it where the cow pops up right there. So I put the razor blade right there and I clip, and now I've got a scissor mark or a cut mark like that. And then when the cow's doing its thing there, I'm going to cut when he disappears, she disappears. Right, so I can use my arrow keys on my keyboard, and I'm going to cut it again right here. I'm going to bring the end piece of footage. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to remove the audio. So I'm going to hold Shift and just select everything, and then right-click and unlink, and then click away, and then click back on the audio. There is no audio yet. This just came in with the movie file that we exported out of Photoshop. There we go. We're going to put our own audio tracks in here later. All right, I'm going to bring this clip up. It's just the same. It looks smaller or skinnier just because the video line is collapsed, so we can uncollapse it if you want. The reason I'm moving it out of the way is just going to make this one longer, slow it down. So right-click, speed and duration. The lower the number, I believe, the longer the clip gets. I wonder if I can even edit it here. I probably could there as well. I think I'll just try it with the percentage, though. So if I do 50%, there, it's that much longer. And I'll bring that over, and then I'll play it through. It's a little slower now, this section. I don't think I'll render it right now. It might take a while. I'll render it, see how long it takes. Not too long. When you do scaling or bigger effects, it could take longer to render. So you want to, again, render often so it doesn't take too long. Save after a render. I'm going to pop this piece of footage back down onto the main track here. All right. There's this arrow here, track selection. It selects anything behind it, so like to the right. So if I go to the beginning, I'm going to push this forward, make some room for my titles. So new title, default still, because it's just going to sit there. I don't need it to roll at this point, and I could call it title or intro, or you can name all your stuff, and I click OK. And then another window pops up, and it's like typing in a Word document. Just to make sure that it won't ever get clipped out when we export it again, there's these safety markers here. So I'm going to always kind of keep it within probably the inner one. So I click with the box here. Oh, wrong. It's not where I want it, actually. I lied. Let's delete that. All right, try again. There. I'll call it the cow. Now it's kind of small, so I'll highlight it all. Center it like a Word document. You've got all your fonts. You've got presets down here, like with snazzy fonts here. I'll do that one. The size is here, 250. And then again, I can just move the whole box down and center it, and then I can make the box smaller like that. and then it's centered in the screen, maybe a little higher. And I close it. It goes down here. Anything you build goes down into your project down here. And it's 6 seconds, it looks like, 6.6. You can change that as well. It's a little bit too long. Use this tool, push it out, and render. It's yellow, the title, so I'm going to render that out.